What happens when the god of wisdom knows too much? In Egyptian mythology, that role belongs to Thoth, the god of wisdom and healing. But he wasn't just any deity. He knew secrets that some say are too dark and too dangerous for humanity to know. Especially when we consider that Thoth may not be a god at all. Our tale today begins in the land of ancient Egypt, a place where many secrets have been completely buried by the sands of time. Secrets that may have shaped the very world that we live in today. Hidden among the shadows of towering pyramids and ancient temples lies the mysterious figure of Thoth. Thoth is often shown with the head of an ibis or a baboon and holding a scribe's tools. Thoth wasn't just the god of wisdom. He was the master of the moon, mathematics, language, and magic. Thoth was believed to have been born from the forehead of the sky goddess Nut.
Yeah, boy.
This may sound symbolic, but it's actually very important. If Nut embodied the heavens, then Thoth was the consciousness behind them. And if all of this sounds eerily similar to you, it's because, in Greek mythology, Athena is born fully formed from the head of Zeus, another sky deity. So you can start seeing how different mythologies from around the world actually influenced each other a lot. In myth, Thoth served as the voice of Ra, the sun god. He was the divine mediator in disputes between gods and the one who kept the balance of the universe intact. This balance that we're referring to is actually the balance of Ma'at, and I just dropped a video about this, so link for that is down below. And Thoth didn't just help preserve it, he wrote the laws that held the universe together. But it wasn't all about just divine politics. Thoth played a key role in the weighing of the heart ceremony. It was Thoth who recorded whether the souls were worthy of eternal life or doomed to oblivion. Thoth didn't actually pass judgment, that role belongs to Osiris. But Thoth was the one who officially kept all the records. Thoth was believed to wield a power known as Heka. This was a powerful speech that could shape reality itself. With it, he didn't just observe the universe, he could actually rewrite it. Just with the power of his speech, he could control matter and the destiny of even gods themselves. Thoth was also the figure who introduced writing to Egyptian society, and according to the Greek philosopher Plato, this gift was not really well received by the pharaoh at the time. This is how the exchange went. When Thoth brought forth the gift of writing, he approached Thamos and happily declared, "This invention, O king, will make the Egyptians wiser and will improve their memories. For it is an elixir of memory and wisdom that I have discovered." But Thamos replied, "Most ingenious Thoth, one man has the ability to beget arts, but the ability to judge their usefulness or harmfulness to their users belongs to another. For this invention will produce forgetfulness in the minds of those who learn to use it, because they will not practice their memory. Their trust in writing, produced by external characters which are no part of themselves, will discourage the use of their own memory within them. You have invented an elixir not of memory, but of reminding, and you offer your pupils the appearance of wisdom, not true wisdom, for they will read many things without instruction, and will therefore seem to know many things, when they are for the most part ignorant and hard to get along with, since they are not wise, but only appear wise." The previous interaction does not come directly from Egyptian mythology itself, but actually from Plato's writings, so take it with a grain of salt. With that being said, the message is pretty clear. Written knowledge often means nothing without the proper advice and memory to actually wield it. Nonetheless, writing was introduced to Egyptian society, and the ancient Egyptians called this gift Merunetyer, which means the words of the gods. They believe hieroglyphs weren't just symbols, but encoded knowledge passed from the divine realm to mankind. Thoth gave humans the ability to record, communicate, and remember, but more importantly, he gave them the means to seek forbidden knowledge. And this is where things start getting strange, because not all of Thoth's writings were meant for human eyes. Some were so powerful and so dark that they were hidden away, never meant for anyone to read it. According to legend, Thoth's greatest secret wasn't kept in a temple. It was hidden in tablets. Tablets that could rewrite reality itself. You may or may not have heard about the Emerald Tablets. These mysterious artifacts that are attributed to Thoth himself did not really surface in history until centuries after ancient Egypt fell. The first known translation appeared in an 8th century Arabic text, but some say that the tablets are far older, maybe even predating Egypt itself. Some say they go back 36,000 years, to a civilization long lost to history, which in this case is pretty fitting, because certain narratives claim that Thoth wasn't a god at all. They claim that Thoth was a survivor from Atlantis. According to some stories out there, Thoth was an Atlantean priest king. Born in the golden age of Atlantis, Thoth was trained by his father, a being known as Thoth, one of the Children of the Light, an advanced race that lived alongside humanity, guiding us, teaching us, and perhaps shaping us. These beings weren't exactly immortal, but they far outlived humans, and they possessed technology that even by today's standards would be considered magic. Advanced science, mathematics, energy manipulation, and even the secrets of life and death. They could reincarnate at will, transferring their consciousness from one body to another, preserving their knowledge for what may seem eternity. Thoth was one of their greatest students, and after Atlantis fell, about 13,000 years ago, which we now know coincides directly with the cataclysmic period known as the Younger Dryas, Thoth was tasked with preserving the wisdom of his people. He traveled east, to the land we now call Egypt, carrying with him a series of tablets, green as if made from emerald, and these were said to contain the secrets of the universe itself. And there are many versions of this. There is this one classical version of one single emerald tablet from Arabic sources from the 8th or 9th century approximately, and then there's another version that speaks of 42 different tablets in which Thoth preserved all of his knowledge. But essentially, this tablets or tablet are said to contain the very essence of alchemy, metaphysics, and spiritual ascension. You probably heard the phrase, as above, so below. This comes to us directly from the tablets. It means that the workings of the heavens and the workings of earth are not separate, but reflections of the same universal laws. One system, one code. But the emerald tablets go even further. It is said that the emerald tablets contain the recipe for the Philosopher's Stone, the legendary substance that could turn base metals into gold and grant eternal life. And I want you to think about that for just 1 second. Eternal life, eternal wealth, and control over matter itself. It's no wonder that some of the greatest minds in history were completely obsessed with this topic, from emperors to philosophers, and even Isaac Newton was deeply interested in the emerald tablets, even going as far as making his own translations. But where did this knowledge really come from? If Thoth was really Atlantean, then the Emerald Tablet isn't just an Egyptian relic, it's a remnant of a civilization that predated all known history. A civilization that supposedly possessed technology so advanced, it bordered on the supernatural. The original tablet or tablets have sadly been lost, some saying that they remain hidden. Popular locations for the tablets include the Pyramid of Giza and the Vatican's secret archives. That is, if they actually existed at all. But its translations and legends did actually live on. These stories have resurfaced in other places of the world like Greece, with the appearance of Hermes Trismegistus, the so-called thrice great philosopher, who was said to be the Greek reincarnation of Thoth himself. The teachings of Hermes became the foundation of Hermeticism, a secret tradition that influenced everything from medieval alchemy to secret societies like the Freemasons, the Rosicrucians, and the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. And all of them sought the same thing: the Philosopher's Stone, the elixir of life. Over time, these legends became weaker and weaker as, of course, no one was able to produce such an artifact. But then, in the 20th century, something strange happened. A man named Dr. Maurice Doreal claimed that he had discovered the original emerald tablets, not 1, but 10 of them. According to Doreal, the tablets seemed to be emanating something that he couldn't really explain, a type of energy, like a crystalline green energy that wasn't really from this world. He wasn't allowed to take them, but he was able to translate them, and his translations revealed an even deeper story. Thoth didn't just bring wisdom to Egypt, he brought the technology of the gods, energy manipulation, astral travel, and immortality itself. Doreal's version of the Emerald Tablets describe hidden chambers beneath the Great Sphinx, ancient star maps pointing to Orion and the halls of Amenti, a dimension between worlds where the Children of Light preserve their consciousness. According to Doreal, Thoth still walks among us today. He reincarnates every few years to guide humanity and slowly shaping the course of history. It's a wild story, but when you look at the mystery of the Emerald Tablets, and you realize that a lot of people throughout history have actually been pretty obsessed over this topic, you start to wonder, could there be any element of truth to the story? The truth is, we may never know for sure. But something that is undeniably curious is that we have eerily similar stories from cultures that supposedly had no contact with each other from across the ancient world. Stories of a great disaster, usually a flood, and after the disaster, a figure that emerges as the bringer of wisdom. In Mesopotamia, it was Oannes, a being who emerged from the sea to teach humanity writing, mathematics, and agriculture. In South America, Viracocha rose from Lake Titicaca after a great flood to rebuild civilization. In Polynesia, Cain, the god of creation and wisdom, guided humanity after a cataclysm. In Mesoamerica, it might have been Quetzalcoatl, and in Egypt, that figure was Thoth. The idea is pretty simple. These called divine beings weren't actually gods. They were just survivors from an ancient civilization that was so advanced that they appeared divine to the people who encountered them. And the Emerald Tablets? They might be the preserved knowledge of that civilization. That's why the legacy of Thoth never really died. From the Renaissance alchemist to the modern-day occultist, secret societies and spiritual seekers have all tried to unlock the secrets of the Emerald Tablets. Because if Thoth was really a survivor from Atlantis, then those tablets might contain the very origin of humanity, and perhaps even our destiny. Thank you so much for joining me for today's tale. If you had fun, learned anything new, please go ahead and drop a like or comment below. Also subscribe to the channel to hear more stories like this one, and share this video with someone else. That's a really small button for you, and a gigantic leap for my channel. Until the next tale, farewell, and may the gods smile upon you.